Xbox just had their Developer Direct, featuring some of the games they intend to release this year. So let's talk about what caught my attention. Minecraft Legends is another upcoming Minecraft game releasing on April 18th, and it did a good presentation. The devs talked a lot about the PvP part of the game, and it appears to be much deeper than I initially thought. I'm still not getting it, but I do think that there's probably much more people interested in it now than before. Elder Scrolls Online also announced their new expansion Necrom, coming in June, and announced that all the ESO expansions are free to play for a limited time. The ZeniMax team always does a good job of talking about the game. You can tell that they really like it. Turn 10 came out to talk about Forza Motorsport, and as usual they boasted about visuals and sound features, such as claiming to be able to run at 4K 60 FPS, and that each car will sound different depending on the upgrades you have installed. They also talked about the improvements of this version, such as 5 new environments for players to race on and 500 vehicles to choose. Racing games are showpieces that really tend to push the limits of what games can look like in consoles, but the fact that they were the only game on the show to just give a 2023 window instead of a proper date makes me skeptical that they will release this year, or that if they release this year, it will have everything as smooth and detailed as they promised. Now to the good stuff. Hi-Fi Rush was a great surprise. Developed by Tango Gameworks and released on the same day, Hi-Fi Rush is another game taking a crack on this new mixed rhythm genre, where a rhythm game is mixed with another type of game to create a new way to play. In Hi-Fi Rush's case, Tango mixed a rhythm game with a character action game, and it worked. You perform your combos just like a regular character action game, but performing the attacks in sync with the music raises your rank faster, and even if you press the button at the wrong time, the game still keeps the moves and animations on tempo, so you don't get frustrated because you got out of sync with the music. The pseudo-anime look of the game using cel shading and the Saturday morning cartoon kind of dialogue and story work together well enough, but I can see some people disliking it. I like rhythm games even if I'm not amazing at them, but when they get mixed with other games I get overwhelmed. My tiny brain struggles handling the two things together, but I did manage to get more into Hi-Fi Rush. The fact that I'm way more into action games probably helped as well. I've only played up to the first boss, but my initial impression playing it was very good. Redfall is coming May 2nd and was the show ender. I'm interested in it due to it being made by Arcane, but if you watched some of my previous videos talking about it, you know I've been cautious about Redfall. It is Arcane's largest setting. The city will have multiple safe houses that will serve for players to get missions from NPCs and move the story, as well as to squad up with other players. The presentation had a mission to turn on a lighthouse, and while they said you'll be able to tackle missions in different ways, they focus a lot on the guns blazing way. But they did show that at least the enemies will have some variations, presenting different types of vampires and cultists to fight. Besides the missions, Arcane also talked about other objectives the player will have to do in the game. Cleaning vampire nests, which are the warped areas they've shown in previous trailers, is basically a horde mode where players will have to destroy a giant heart while fending off waves of attacks from vampires, and the players will also have to reclaim neighborhoods, which will trigger an underboss fight, and once enough underbosses are killed, the player will be able to fight vampire gods, the actual bosses of the game. Redfall left a better impression this time, but I'm still cautious. Arcane says the game can be tackled both solo and co-op, but it's clear from the presentation, especially with the vampire nests and the neighborhood missions, that the focus is more on multiplayer, so it makes sense that the focus of the gameplay is on combat. Trying to be stealthy while on multiplayer would probably be very difficult and frustrating. They also said you'll be able to customize guns and have a skill tree to customize your character abilities, but they touched so lightly on that I don't even know what to talk about it. I'll still probably play Redfall since it is Arcane, and it definitely got more people interested in it, but from this presentation I feel that this game may not be for me due to the bigger focus on combat and less on stealth. Overall, I would say that Xbox did a fairly good job of showing its games. I'm a PC player, so I don't care much about consoles, but I feel that this presentation soothed some Xbox players that were already questioning their purchase since 2022 was a bad year for Microsoft, and all the games that were shown came out of this show better than they came in, even if I personally feel less enthusiastic about them. So what did you think of the Xbox Developer Diary? Leave a comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you around.